Have you noticed it too? Something weird has been happening online lately, from travel vlogs to TikTok trends, even business podcasts. Everyone in the US seems to be talking about one country over and over again. Malaysia? Yep, Malaysia. The same country that used to sit quietly behind its flashier neighbors has suddenly become the internet's favorite obsession. But here's the question everyone's asking. Why now? Why are Americans, people who once dreamed only of New York, Los Angeles, and Miami, suddenly fascinated, impressed, and maybe even a little jealous of Malaysia? Hold that thought. Because once you see what's really going on, you might start to understand why the rest of the world is paying attention too. And that's where things start to get really interesting. A shock on the internet feed. Picture this. You're scrolling through YouTube, minding your own business when a thumbnail pops up. An American couple smiles under the Kuala Lumpur skyline. The title reads, "We thought Thailand was paradise until Malaysia blew us away." You click out of curiosity, and 2 minutes later you're wondering if you've been sleeping on an entire country. Then another video appears. We moved to Kuala Lumpur and it's way better than Los Angeles. It's not random anymore. It's a pattern. Influencers, digital nomads, retirees, students, people who've lived in the US their whole lives are saying the same thing. Malaysia feels like the future. But is it hype or something deeper? Most viewers stop at the headlines, but the real story, the one that's quietly rewriting how Americans see Southeast Asia, starts the moment they land. The first surprise, modern Malaysia, hits. Different Americans expect skyscrapers. They've seen Dubai, Singapore, Hong Kong. But when they land in Kuala Lumpur and step outside the airport, something feels different. It's modern, yes, but not cold. Orderly, but not lifeless. Futuristic, yet somehow human. The streets pulse with color. Malay, Chinese, Indian, and indigenous faces, all weaving through one another like a living mosaic. A mosque's call to prayer drifts over the hum of a nearby temple bell. And nobody seems to be arguing about it. For an American used to polarization and cultural tension, that's mind-blowing. How can so many identities coexist so smoothly? Most people have no idea why this matters until now, because while other nations preach diversity, Malaysia lives it daily. It's not a marketing slogan. It's lunch break at a hawker stall where 4 languages collide, and everyone still understands add more sambal. And here's the kicker. That peaceful mix isn't new. It's been baked into Malaysia's DNA for generations, long before multiculturalism became a buzzword in the West. Wait, this feels like New York, but nicer. Walk through Bukit Bintang at night and you'll get it. Neon reflections on clean sidewalks, skyscrapers glittering above endless street food smoke. It feels like New York, but safer. Like Las Vegas, but friendlier. Like the future, but with better noodles. Americans see that and go, how is this not on the world's top 10 cities list? And just when they think they've figured Malaysia out, they travel north. Penang time travel with Wi-Fi. If Kuala Lumpur is Malaysia's heartbeat, Penang is its soul. Americans arrive expecting a sleepy heritage town and instead find something they didn't know could exist. A city that time forgot and the future adopted. Tech startups operate beside 200-year-old shop houses. Digital nomads sip oat milk lattes under crumbling colonial balconies. A self-driving bus glides past murals older than their grandparents. It's confusing in the best way too, because nothing in the US feels like this balance of progress and preservation. And that's when realization hits them. Malaysia didn't copy anyone's success. It built its own version. But the deeper they dig, the more shocking the picture becomes, because this isn't just a travel story anymore. It's geopolitical, it's economic, it's emotional. and it's changing how Americans think about their own country. Beyond tourism, the strategic twist. Here's the twist that nobody on TikTok is talking about. Americans aren't obsessed with Malaysia just because it's beautiful. They're obsessed because, in 2025, Malaysia has quietly become strategic. While superpowers argue over trade wars and alliances, Malaysia has done something rare. It stayed calm. It built bridges instead of walls. And suddenly, investors from both sides, East and West, are calling it the perfect middle ground. US companies that once flocked to China or Vietnam are now quietly setting up offices in Penang and Johor Bahru. Why? Because Malaysia offers stability, talent, and a government that actually makes it easy to do business. Last year alone, US investment in Malaysia hit record highs. And that's not just a statistic, it's a shift in mindset. Americans are realizing Malaysia isn't developing anymore. It's competing. And here's where things start to get really interesting. A different kind of American dream. It's not just corporations chasing opportunity. It's students, retirees, and remote workers, ordinary Americans packing their lives into suitcases and saying, "Let's try Malaysia." Why? Because the math is simple. Quality education for a fraction of US tuition. Healthcare that doesn't bankrupt you, rent that doesn't eat your soul, and food that tastes like happiness. They come thinking they'll stay 6 months and end up applying for long-term visas. There's a reason Malaysia, my second home, has suddenly become one of Google's top-searched visa programs in 2025. It's not marketing, it's word of mouth. It's real people saying life just feels better here. But what truly shocks Americans isn't the price tag, it's the peace of mind. Because in the US, even success feels stressful. In Malaysia, success looks calm. And that difference? It's addictive. The human connection. Ask any traveler what really changed them and they won't talk about skyscrapers. They'll talk about people. The taxi driver who refused to tip and said, "Welcome to my country." The auntie who insisted you try her homemade curry because you look too thin. The group of strangers who invite you to join their table at a night market. Americans come expecting a vacation and leave feeling like they found a second home. And if you think that sounds exaggerated, here's the proof. Social media is flooded with videos of Americans eating nasi lemak with their hands, laughing with locals who barely speak English and loving every second of it. That's not tourism, that's transformation. But why does it hit Americans so hard? Because deep down, it reminds them of something they've lost. Community. In a world obsessed with speed, profit, and perfection, Malaysia quietly whispers, "Slow down, eat, talk, smile." And that message is resonating across oceans. Before we keep going, quick reality check. Only about 1% of people who watch videos like this ever subscribe. But what's coming next will honestly change how you see both Malaysia and America. So if you're still watching, hit subscribe right now because the next part of this story gets way deeper than anyone expects. The food. Where unity has a taste. Every argument online stops cold when the conversation turns to food. Because if there's one thing Americans agree on, it's this. Malaysian cuisine might just be the best in Asia. Char kway teow that crackles on the wok, roti canai that flakes like pastry, satay skewers dipped in peanut sauce, so good it should be illegal. Americans film themselves sweating over sambal and crying over durian. Then post, "I can't believe I liked that." But here's what blows them away more than the taste, the teamwork behind it. A Malay family grilling chicken next to a Chinese noodle stall beside an Indian chef kneading dough. 3 cultures, 1 street, 0 ego. That's Malaysia. That's unity you can literally taste. And while food might seem like a small thing, it tells a much bigger story about how a nation can stay true to its roots while sharing the same table. Which brings us to the part of the story that really turns heads in the US. The calm power that's redefining the American dream. You'd think the story ends with food, right? Not even close. Because once Americans taste Malaysia, they start seeing Malaysia, and that's when the real fascination begins. A country that doesn't need to show off. In the US, success is loud. Billboards, influencers, hustle culture, everything screams, "Look at me." But Malaysia, it's quiet confidence. While others brag about skyscrapers, Malaysia builds them and plants trees around them. While others shout about innovation, Malaysia just rolls out another nationwide upgrade. And Americans, who've grown up equating noise with progress, suddenly find themselves stunned by a country that lets its results speak. Here's where things start to get really interesting. Because that calm, almost humble progress isn't accidental, it's strategic. Malaysia figured out that in a chaotic world, stability itself is power. And Americans are taking notes. When calm beats chaos. Think back to the past few years, trade wars, inflation spikes, endless political shouting matches. While superpowers argued, Malaysia quietly climbed. No drama, no collapse, just a consistent rhythm of growth. It's like the world was playing chess